Powerful Unity bonus. I think if they make a Rogue Legacy 3, Pizza Girl's gonna have to be in this. She is very, very memorable. Well, they're all very memorable. He was Charon, man. And he's not just a dick that takes your money anymore. He's just like, oh, it's me, Charon. I'm, hey, appreciate you giving me all your money. So, definitely gonna help you out maybe eventually. I don't know, maybe. This is definitely a class that at the beginning of the game I'm like, oh my god, this is so good. Now that I've been playing with the other classes, I'm like, yeah, this is okay. This is, this is your atypical Shoto. It doesn't do anything great, doesn't do anything bad. It does have a the ability to block. I don't think the other classes have. Well, I'll be mad if that's like I find out that you know how you can shield with the Y button on this character. Be very mad if I find out there's like a dedicated block button for this game. Because I know a couple of my ancestors have mentioned, why don't you block at the last second? Save yourself all that time and money. Like, oh, okay. Not looking good for Mr. Paladin here. Yep. Candy. Yep, this is a dead end. Guessing this is probably one of the many transitionary rooms that you can get. Sometimes leading to other places, sometimes not. Yep. These are powered up versions of the guys I've fought before. Boy, I think I'm dead now. Or not. Sometimes I see those characters and I'm just like, ah, I'm dead. Like, they're gonna do too much damage, even though I'm at half health. And then I just like, oh, I don't take any damage from them. That's cool. Speaking of which, yeah, that's a guy right there, popping up out of nowhere. It probably should have killed me. Didn't expect him. Didn't think I could, tank the damage or whatever. Running a number of those guys, noticed. Do it, do it. Nice. Sometimes I can be competent, even if it's just by dumb luck. Gotcha. And so the run continues. Come on, dash over that. Yep, dead. That's okay. A good run. Decent run. Maybe not that great. Probably below average. Weapon crits are good. Need to start focusing on some of those like health upgrades. Extra stuttery today. Hello, Ducky. Good chat today, Ducky. Let's legs wash this last night going crazy. Rocking on my pillow all night. It did not help. Tried to take a nap later. Whatever that secondary currency is for the weapons and armor, whether silver or steel or whatever that is, that is a currency that you either have too much of or not enough of, and there's never really, it never seems to be like an in-between, like, oh, well, I got enough build, you know, to take care of, you know, the rest of the armors in the game. No. Good. We're all protected by divine intervention. So this dude right here. Which won't work for you though. You know, like right now I've got 3,600, we'll just call it steel. And like each armor can take anywhere between, say, 500 to a couple thousand steel. And, you know, you go, oh, well, I'm gonna upgrade I'm gonna get all my armor. You know, the Penguin armor or whatever it's called. Animantle armor. And the game's like, yeah, you can do that, but I don't think you have enough steel for that. You're like, what are you talking about? I've got 4,000 steel. Yeah, but each one of these upgrades is going to cost you about 1,500. Marble statue, that's good. Let you stomp, 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 which is what I'm going to do here in a second. Stomp, stomp, stomp. There you go. Downside with the stomp is that if you're trying to go up up an area that has like destructible block, it just destroys those. So like, good luck. I think Mr. Wargie's down here. Oh, nope, you showed me, Mr. Warg. Come on, uppercut him. Uppercut. Come on. Like one of the most broken-ass attacks in this game. Well, I guess it's not broken, but feels broken. Yeah, that's where the marble statue does not come in handy, is when you have these little breakable blocks that you can no longer stand on because you go crunch. Come on, little fairy dude, I want to crush you. Lose no health, that's not good. I like practically stand still and lose health. Seems like you want some blood? Like, kinda want some blood? Crunch, crunch, stomp, 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 stomp. I don't want some blood. Game's like, well, in order to do that, you have to complete 50 million shrine quests. The Keeper of the Forest. Pretty good damage right there. Just keep that up. Her hitbox seems to be very small. Well, I guess her damage box is one I should say. Nope. You gotta spin. Gotta drop kick those guys in the face. Which I'm not gonna do, because I'm an idiot. That's how you do it. Just like that, except minus taking damage. And now I'm dead. So it's definitely a boss that you gotta stick and run for at least a little bit. So I guess as long as she's not casting one of her spells, you could probably... That was a pretty good one. You're okay. Baron's reward's pretty good. You're trying to go do a deep run. Hello, Docky. Peek under Sharon's cloak. Pitch black under there. I once glimpsed his weapon. Glowing white scythe looks ethereal. I'd love to get my hands on that. I doubt that. I don't know enough about Charon in the mythology sense. Know exactly what that is, but I have to imagine he's kind of like Death's Light, where you know, you touch it, you're dead. I don't know if anyone's ever played the not great God of War clone, Dante's Inferno. That game's okay. I think the best part of that whole thing is the very beginning of the game, the tutorial, you fight death. And you fucking rip the scythe out of his hand and fucking murder him, I guess. And he doesn't get that's your weapon the rest of the game. This fucking badass death scythe. Which I guess that makes sense because as much sense as any fantasy video game makes sense. Because you know, you start getting into the world of can mortal weapons hurt, you know, demons and angels and that sort of stuff. Like, probably not. You'd probably need something from their world to damage them. Stuff that makes up their universe. Perfect. We check. Dead. I'm sure if I run into class up versions of those guys, they're probably gonna be like spewing shit all over the place from every side. You're just gonna have to be like, okay, gonna have to avoid you right now. This guy's gonna be the death of me, literally and figuratively, many times over. Oh, also, I hope these icicles don't come back in any later portions of the game in some different form. They're a pain in my ass. Ooh, double helmets is good. Big damage, more damage below 40% more damage when I'm under 50% health. That's great. I'd like to get the alternative to that as well, where you get 50% more damage while above 50%. You know, be like, oh yeah, just plus 50. It's nothing. I got the room for it. Yeah, I found you again. Take your treasure. So you have a little less than 4,000 silver or heal now. So, see how this goes. Not ideal. But I guess that's more of a precision class than anything. Take a lot of damage though. I do like how her conservatory, or whatever this is supposed to be, greenhouse, is like, looks like kind of like a hollowed out skeleton pumpkin. You know, skeletons or pumpkins had a brown skeleton. Still took damage there, that's great. Okay, so I do pretty decent damage to her actually. I just need to be more specific with how I'm doing the damage. Also, I need to stop taking damage like that. That's kind of annoying. I think this is probably one of her worst attacks. I know you can just go straight up the line to the top, or hit it once, drop down a little bit, and then dash through the hole you created, but not paranoia if you're right. Never do a full seal. Yeah, let's see what this is. I'm curious. Enemies drop explosives, plus 50 weapon damage, minus 25% health. I don't mind that, that's fine. The other way around I wouldn't really like, you know, minus 50% damage. Ugh. Stop shouting all the time. I like him, but he needs to control his levels. Yeah, and you're on the same platform as I might imagine. I'm gonna certainly not finish anywhere near. Oh, well, I don't think I'm quite halfway through this game yet. I might be a little bit more than halfway through this game. I don't know. But I want to point to this, point to the stance thing that I'm so good at, and say this is how you do a sequel, not like the way not the way that what's it called did. What do they call that? Nidhogg. I think I've complained about this before about Nidhogg. Nidhogg 1 is a bunch of stick figures, you know, fighting each other, trying to get to the end so they can get eaten by the Nidhogg, okay? And people apparently had different interpretations of what exactly the game, you know, who the characters are, blah, 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 blah. I always kind of imagined, in my mind anyways, that they were like two people, you know, whether they be nobles or, you know, regular lay people, you know, essentially fighting to the death for the honor of the Nidhogg. But when they did Nidhogg 2 and they went from being stick figures to actual sprite characters, they're like, nah man, they're like brainless zombie people, you know, like the kind that you would find in the Odd World series. Like, that is not at all how I imagined they would be. So like, and like, as your successor, you decided that you're going to add other weapons, which I'll give you 2 thumbs up for doing that. That's innovation. That's the kind of innovation I want to see. But at the same time, like, oh god, this explosion stuff's not great. Yep, dead. But like, they're so poorly implemented. Like, what was so great? Ugh. What was so great about Nidhogg 1 was that everything was so fast, you know, and even if you couldn't catch up to the guy, you could still throw your sword at him and possibly kill him. You know what I mean? And even if you threw your sword, it could be blocked, or you could still kill them with your hand, you know, hand-to-hand combat. But Nidhogg 2 just became like, okay, I kill you once, and I just run to the end. And particularly if you picked a poor starting weapon, you know, you're kind of screwed. And that kind of got back to the whole speed versus strength thing. It's like, okay, you know, everything kills you in one hit, so what's the point of using a weak weapon, a slow weapon, when a fast weapon will kill you just as easily as a quick one or a slow one. So I do like how they balance vampirism in this game. First of all, it doesn't appear as often. This is like probably, what, the third or fourth time I've had vampirism in the whole game. And then they balance it where you no longer have to kill an enemy to gain the HP, but you're also taking more damage as a vampire. So, you know, there's the risk-reward portion of it where you are hitting an enemy a lot, you can easily regain your health, but you're taking whatever, I think it's 35% extra damage. And little do you know that he emanates power and authority. Talking about the pizza girl, I think. Yeah, there he's talking about the other one, the other stuttering like dummy, I guess. But like, getting back to my point about this game, like, it took a lot of the elements that were great about Rogue Legacy 1, you brought them back. You brought the the enemy types that, but at the same time, you place them in areas that make more sense. Now, obviously, the Spear Maidens and soldier characters, you can probably place them everywhere in the game. I think the only place I wouldn't put them, is sort of a matter of opinion, would probably be in like a lava area, because I imagine that would be kind of counterintuitive for a but I mean, you could see them anywhere in the game and not blink an eye, just like skeletons. You can have skeletons anywhere you want, except if for some reason there's like an angelic area, where it wouldn't make sense to have undead beings. But you're placing enemies places that do make sense. You're dropping in stronger enemy versions as sort of like challenges for better chests. You introduce new enemies like this one, which is interesting. And then you didn't really bring back most of the gross shit that are, was in your first game. Like, the weird clown guy, he has not reappeared yet. Which is great, because I didn't like him. Your portraits are, they seem to be more benign in the background, instead of being like, here's a picture of Charon, and here's a picture of the final boss, and they seem to be a little more thematic to the area you're in. And I haven't run into any mimics yet, which I don't really expect till I get past this area. So you could put them, start like having just random mimics in this section, but I don't know. As soon as you put the mimics in, I'm gonna start swinging at every treasure chest after that. I don't know, I just feel like they took sort of the elements that were kind of dumb about the first game and made them either better or got rid of them entirely. Doesn't necessarily mean that, like, if I hated, like, say, I didn't like Warg, for instance, or the eyeball characters, they don't deserve to come back. No, that's fine. You want to bring the eyeballs back because they're so iconic, that's fine. Just kind of, don't make them, like, make them look good and feel good. Like, when you get hit by them, you're like, okay, I get it. That's my mistake. Not like, oh, well, here's the eyeballs now spew multiple little blood drop, and they're foaming targeting, and you can't spin jump them or you know, spin kick them, and yeah, there's nothing you can do. Just, you know, take damage. I don't like this. I get it. Fine, because you're just doing sort of a puzzle here, but I think I ran into one of these, or maybe I'm thinking the first game. I ran into one of these where, like, you're going down, it creates like a visual, well, I really like the spikes, don't I? So even see, I mean, right there, it just told me the AoE of that particular attack. So, like, oh, he's going to cause an explosion in this area. Please evacuate. You have exactly 2 seconds to do so. Instead of like, oh, well, he just explodes randomly. Take the damage. You deserve it. This is a rogue game. If you were good, you'd be able to beat this game without getting past your first error. Okay, thanks. I neither have the ability nor know the strat to cheat this game. So like I said, I really like the fact that they've limited the vampirism in this game, because obviously the way they rebalance the class, the class would be super broken. Every time I hit someone, I do damage. I mean, I get health back, but I don't lose health. So I just went to 36 health there. I'm up to 60, 265, 294, 323. I regained the health at a ridiculous pace. I lose it at a ridiculous pace too. Okay, I'm down to 2 something, 46. 304. 331, 360, 400 now. I'm at 419. Great. I'm just trying to see how much damage it does when I actually get hit. I love how gross this snow is, though. Because if you're looking on the ground, you can see where they're gonna pop up, the little zombie guys. But if they're covered in snow, it hides where they're at. I'm sure I can. If I looked hard enough, I probably could see them through that snow. But it's like a nice little surprise. So you're like always wary of the snow. Alright, we're gonna go take the boss on. This is gonna be wild swings between having full life and having practically being dead. The dash. These guys are annoying. Yep. Damage there, that's good. Fuck that up. Let me rebuild my health here. Drop straight down. Alright, she's half health now. I'm at full health. Gonna deal with these now. Chris, don't get hit by shit. You can get back into this, literally. Nope. Put my way to victory. Nope, I'm dead. I'd be a little more patient, I could have done that. The wild swings in health is